Good day everyone. This is Group 3 in Reading Philippine History. Our topic is the works of Luna and Amorsolo. Before we start, here are reporters for this topic. Juan Luna's personal background. Who is Juan Luna? Juan Luna de San Pedro Novicio Archeta, also known as Juan Luna. He born on October 3, 1857 in Badoc, Ilocos Norte. He is three of 7 children of Mr. Joaquin Luna and Mrs. Lorena Novicio. In 1861, their family was moved in Manila to take a good and high education. Juan Luna is already interested in painting because of the influence of his older brother, Manuel Luna, who is a good painter. Luna studied at Ateneo de Manila and then at Escuela Nautica, Philippine Merchant Marine Academy. He became a sea traveler. Through it, he saw the beautiful scenery in Hong Kong, Singapore, Batavia, and Colombia. When Luna is in Manila, he teaches Lorenzo Guerrero how to paint. Juan Luna entered to study at Academia de Dibujo y Pintor in Manila, but he was dismissed, perhaps because his style does not conform to the wishes of his teacher. In 1877, under Guerrero's recommendation, Juan Luna was educated at the Academia de Bellas Artes de San Fernando in Madrid, but he did not like the way he taught there. When he met the painter Don Alejo Vera, a Spanish painter who specialized in historical painting, Juan Luna joined from Don Alejo Vera to learn more about painting. Juan Luna's death on December 7, 1899 in Hong Kong because of heart attack.
Espolarium noong 1884. Pinapakita sa painting na ito kung paano tratuhin ang Pilipinas bago sila sakupin ng mga Espanyol. Ang layunin ng pagpipinta na ito ay ang pagising sa mga Pilipino mula sa kamangmangan. Espanya y Pilipinas noong 1886, meaning in English translation, Spain and the Philippines. Ito ay isang paglalarawan ng dalawang kababaihan na magkasama. Ang isa ay kinatawan ng Espanya at ang isa ay ang Pilipinas. Ang painting din na ito ay kilala rin bilang España Guiando a Pilipinas, or in English, Spain Leading the Philippines, ay itinuturing na isa sa mga legacy na minana ng mga Pilipino kay Luna. Ang babaeng Espanyol ay inilarawan bilang wide, strong shoulder, habang ang Pilipinong babae ay inilarawan bilang kaaya-aya at kayumanggiyang balat. Parehong nagsuot ang babae kilalang damit bilang traje de mestiza o damit ng mestiza. Ang pagbibihis ng mga kababaihan sa traje de mestiza ay nagpapakita ng kultural na karakter, klase ng kamalayan at mga pagbabagong panlipunan. Ang painting din na ito ay nagsasabing ang Espanya ang namumuno sa Pilipinas patungo sa pag-unlad. The Battle of Leopanto noong 1887. Ang ibig parating ng painting na ito ay nagbibigay ng kabuluhan sa tagumpay ng Espanya laban sa mga Turks. Ang tagumpay sa Leopanto ay isang tagumpay ng Katoliko sa paglusob ng mga pwersa ng Islam. Sa Leopanto, natalo ng mga Katoliko ang pwersa ng Islam. nagtatangkang sakupin ang kanluran upang pilitin ang kanyang mga mamamayan na sumalalim sa pamamahala ng Islam. Sumakatwid, ang painting na ito ay isang paglalarawan ng pambansang pagmamalaki ng mga Espanyol na naging instrumento sa tagumpay sa Leopanto. Ito rin ay isang paglalarawan ng pagmamataas sa Katolisismo ng Espanya mula nang sila ay magtagumpay sa labanan. Tampuhan noong 1895 or sulking na nangangahulugang nagtatampo. Ito ay tungkol sa isang lalaking Pilipino at Pilipina na nagkakaroon ng away magkasintahan. Ito rin ay nagpapakita ng hindi pagkakasundo na kung saan hindi sila nagsasalita sa bawat isa. Tinatawag ring silent treatment. Ang iba pang nakapaloob sa pagtatampo na ito ay nagsasama ng iba pang mga kilos tulad ng hindi pakikipag-usap sa ibang tao, pagiging tahimik, hindi pakikilahok sa mga kaibigan sa mga aktibidad, at hindi rin paglahok sa mga pamamasyal ng pamilya o kaya ay kinukulong ang sarili sa kanyang silid tulugan. Para wakasan ng sulking, ang isa ay kailangan suyuin ng isa pa o gumawa ng kasunduan o compromise. Mahalaga rin sa kultura ng Pilipinas na ang mag-asawa ay nasa loob ng isang tradisyonal na kolonyal na bahay na Pilipino na kilala bilang bahay na bato, na ang lalaki ay nakasuot ng iconic na interior carp na window pane at ventanilla, habang ang babae ay nakasuot ng tradisyonal na Maria Clara gown ng mga babaeng Pilipino. La Bulaqueña o ang babaeng taga-Bulacan, or in English, the Bulacan woman. Ang Bulacan ay isa sa lalawigan sa Pilipinas at ang mga mamamayan ng Bulacan ay tinatawag na Bulaqueños kapag lalaki, Bulaqueña naman kapag babae. Ito ay isang matahimik na larawan ng isang babaeng Pilipino na nakasuot ng isang Maria Clara gown. Ang Maria Clara gown ay isang tradisyonal na damit ng Pilipinas. Ang pangalan ng damit kay Maria Clara ang bida ng nobelang Pilipino si Jose Rizal na No Limitang Here. Ang damit ng babae sa pagpipinta ay ang dahilan kung bakit ang obra maestra ay halili na tinutukoy bilang Maria Clara. Ang babaeng nasa larawan ay maaring maging isa sa mga babaeng niligawan ni Luna matapos mawala ang kanyang asawa si Paz Pardo de Vera. Hindi sinasadyang mapatay ni Luna ang kanyang asawa at binan dahil sa selos. Una Chula II noong 1885, portraying a lower class Madrilena. Madrilena means woman from Madrid. Sitting squarely with arms resting on a chair, a pose that almost manishly exuding sexual confidence and worldliness. Holding a lit cigarette between two fingers in a flirtatious way. The burning tip of cigarette acts as an enhancement of the female's painted lips that supports a slight smile. En Sueños de Amor noong 1890. Literally means daydreams of love. Is a dreamy oil-on-wood painting. It depicts Luna's wife Maria de la Paz Pardo de Vera
while sound asleep.
Mi hijo Andres. It is the portrait of Andres.
Juan Luna San.
Puesta del Sol noong 1880. It means sunset. Is a scene presumably somewhere in the north coast of France,
Which Luna often visited.
Mi Hermana. Ito ay portrait ng kapatid ni Luna na nagngangalang nominar niya. En Il Balcon noong 1884. The subject, a box at the opera, possibly
in Madrid. The other painting of Luna. The Persian Life. La Marquesa de Monte Olivar. Governor Ramon Blanco. Souvenir de Odalesque. El Pacto de Sangre or the Blood Compact. Damas Romanas. La Muerte de Cleopatra. Portrait of Jose Rizal. Esupo no Feminine. Nina y Después Baile, Indio Bravo.
Juan Luna de San Pedro Novicio Ancheta, better known as Juan Luna, was a Filipino painter, sculptor, and a political activist of the Philippine Revolution during the late 19th century. He became one of the first recognized Philippine artists, his winning the gold medal in the 1884 Madrid Exposition of Fine Arts along with the silver win of fellow Filipino painter Felix Resurrection Hidalgo prompted a celebration which was a major highlight in the memories of members of the propaganda with the fellow ilustrados to asking to the two painters good health and to the brotherhood between Spain and the Philippines. Juan Luna was a renowned painter famous for his masterpiece like the Death of Cleopatra, the Blood Compact, the Spolarium. The young Luna studied at the Ateneo de Manila and studied designing at the Academia de Dibujo y Pintura in Manila. In 1875, he obtained his certificate as a pilot or seaman at age 17. He traveled to Spain in 1877 and entered Escuela de Bellas Artes in Madrid. In 1881, Juan Luna was won the gold medal for Death of Cleopatra. In 1884, he painted his best known work, the Spolarium.
Good day everyone, I'm Dreamer Torio. We tackle the personal information about Fernando Amorsolo Cueto. So, who is Fernando Amorsolo? Si Fernando Cueto Amorsolo ay isinilang sa Paco, Manila noong May 30, 1892. Ngunit lumaki siya sa Daet, Caramines South. Siya ay anak ni Bonifacio Cueto at Pedro Amorsolo. Ang kanyang ama ay napatay noong siya ay 13 years old at sila ay lumipat sa Manila kasama ang kanyang nanay at kapatid upang makatulong sa pinsang buo ng kanyang ina, si Fabian de la Rosa, isang kilalang pintor. Noong 1909, nag-aral si Amorsolo sa Liceo de Manila, kung saan kinilala ang galing niya sa pagpinta at pagguhit, at nakatapos kahit mahirap sa University of the Philippines or UP, yung tawag na UP. Nagtuturo noon si De La Rosa doon, kung kaya doon pumasok si Amorsolo noong siya ay 17 years old. Siya ay nakapagtapos noong 1914. At isa si Amorsolo sa unang nag-graduate sa UP o University of the Philippines. Noong 1916, nabigyan siya ng pabuya. Noong 1916 rin ay napangasawa niya si Salo George. Nagkaroon sila ng 6 na anak. At namatay ang kanyang asawa noong 1931. At siya'y nag-asawa muli. At ito ay si Maria de Carmen. At sila ay nagkaroon ng 8 na anak. Si Fernando Cueto Amorsolo ay maraming nagawang painting at sumikat hindi lamang sa Pilipinas kundi pati na rin sa Amerika at iba pang bansa. Siya ang unang naglarawan at nagpalawak ng pagpinta ng mga gawi ng mga Pilipino, gaya ng pagsasaka, pangingisda, paglalaban ng babaeng Pilipina sa sapa at iba pa. Siya ay namatay noong April 26, 1972 sa taong 79 sa sakit na diabetes. Noong 1973, si Amorsolo ang kauna-unahang hinirang ng pamahalaan ng National Artist of the Philippines o tagalikha ng Pilipinas. The work of Fernando Amorsolo. Dalagang Bukid, 1937. The Dalagang Bukid are maiden in the rice field shows a medium brown skinned woman portraying the Maria Clara image. guided by the use of texture and impressionism characterized by relatively thin and small brushstrokes. The vibrant tropical sunlight emphasized the appearance of the woman in terms of a outfit and skin color. Amorsolo's style further emphasized movement, although it is not that conspicuous. The image that the painting depicts, in my perspective, it's that the woman was enjoying her walk by the fields. Looking at the tree, she looked back with a smile. Hence, her shoulder gave emphasis on the way woman depressed with attempted to depict Filipino conservative demeanor that every Filipina must possess during the American colonial period. Thus, this portrait created a narrative that life in the province is merely agricultural, that life was good, and that the ideal Filipino woman must be conservative, beautiful, and happily serving her family and doing reproductive jobs such as taking care of the house, chores, and of upbringing the children, given her gentle and warm demeanor. The planting rice with Mayon volcano. The planting rice with Mayon volcano exhibits the happiness across from the difficulties in planting rice. The Filipino villagers in bright clothes and straw hat plant together with a fresh and green landscape of plenty. Behind the Filipino villagers is the peaceful flow of steam. Fruit gatherer. Fruit gatherer, oil on board, a specimen of Amorsolo conception of an ideal Filipina beauty. The main meaning of the fruit gatherer painted by Fernando Amorsolo is to be sure you recognize and appreciated the small things. It represents a hard worker who is often not appreciated. Making of Philippine Flag. The Making of Philippine Flag is the masterpiece painting by Fernando Amorsolo in Philippines. No doubt he created such a wonderful artwork. The painting shows three women, namely Marcela Marino de Agoncillo on the right side, refer as the mother of the Philippine flag, with help of Lorenza and Delfina Herbosa de Natividad, which is actually the daughter of Marcela. They was tasked by General Emilio Aguinaldo to sew the first flag for the new republic. The clothes that the women are wearing are an older style, more vintage, and really depict the traditional style. The skirts the women are wearing are long and their tops were like a traditional kimono. To take care and give importance the national flag, which it symbolizes as white triangle, stand for equality and fraternity. The blue field for peace, truth and justice, and the red field for patriotism and valor. The 8 rays of the sun stand for the first 8 provinces that the colonizers have put under material law. The 3 stars symbolize Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The afternoon meal of the rice workers. The afternoon meal of the rice workers by Fernando Amorsolo is a beautiful piece. It has a good combination of colors, especially the light ones. The story behind this painting is really the one that is really captivating. It shows how simple but happy the life of our great farmers was. Simplicity was just so perfect of the scene, such an inspiring and heart-touching piece. Everything looks so perfect and it suits to all Filipinos. The Fruit Pickers Under the Mango Tree, 1937. As start, the painting consists of Filipino fruits harvesters. There are 6 of them, 2 at the left back side and 4 at the right front. There is also a big mango tree in front and different size of baskets for the mangoes. One person who has her back turned seems to be taking to the girls sitting. Others were totally engrossed to their work. The place is very bright as a green environment. Fernando Amorsolo created this painting during the year 1937. This year was the rise of women's rights. Many events for the Filipinas occurred during that time. 1. The Philippines held a plebiscite for Filipino women on whether they should be extended the right to suffrage. Over 90% voted in the affirmative. Also, for the first ever, Filipino women were given the right to vote during elections. So now, we tackle the mountains of Fernando Amorsolo. Fernando Amorsolo is one of the greatest artists in the Philippines, known for his depictions of the countryside. As a mountaineer and one who would like to build a collection of mountain art in the future, I am struck by his faithful depictions of Philippine mountain. In this 1951 Amorsolo painting, the mountains can easily be identified from left to right: Mount Atimla, Mount Kalisungan, Mount Banahaw de Lucban, Mount Banahaw, and Mount Cristobal. Amazingly, he was depicting the scene exactly as it can be viewed from many hometown of Las Bañas. This is a more popular painting. Show the exactly set of mountains. Note the similarity between the cloud formations. Today you can still see some rice fields in the area, but there are also buildings and subdivisions. Here we have another rural scene, this time in the shadow of Mountain Arayat. Based on the appearance of the mountain, it looks as if it was viewed from the Zambales side. Above painting is entitled Rice Terraces in Baguio, and I suspect that the mountain at the background is Mount Ugu, because Mount Ugu looks very such like if viewed from the city of Pins, although it is a bit narrow. Anyway, it's good to wonder about this masterpiece. Final drawing does not look like any mountains I know. It can be makiling as viewed from Calaulan. Although the mountain looks indistinct and Amorsolo would have sought to capture the outline of Mariang Makiling. Alternatively, it is Mount Pinatubo before it erupted. Looking at Amorsolo's painting adds a layer of meaning to his work for Filipino mountain enthusiasts. Indeed, hiking can lead up to an appreciation not only of our country but of our country's artists. Other painting of Amorsolo: Sunday morning going to town, Marine in the stream, The Mestiza, The Burning of Manila, The Bombing of the Intendencia, 1942.
So hello everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Lauro V. Rosario, the reporter of Group 3. So I'm here in front of you to tackle who is Fernando Amorsolo and his artwork. So the grand old man of Philippine art, or Fernando Amorsolo y Cueto, was born on May 30, 1892 in Caleheran, Baco District, Manila, the son of Mr. Pedro and Bonifacia Amorsolo. He is the most important artist in the history of the painting in the Philippines. And Amorsolo was a portraitist and painter of rural Philippine landscape. And he is popularly known for his craftsmanship and mastery in the use of light.
So in 1972, Fernando Amorsolo became the first Filipino to be distinguished as the Philippine National Artist in the Philippines. So according to my research, 5 days after his death, he was destined to become one of the most celebrated artists in the Philippine history, and the first to be designated a National Artist awarded by former President Ferdinand Marcos. Amorsolo was known as the painter of Philippine sunlight because his illuminated landscape displayed the magnificence of countries, sunshine, and portrayed traditional customs, culture, fiesta, and ordinary occupation, such as a rice harvesting and mango picking. His pastoral work presented an imagined sense of nationhood in counterpoint to American colonial rule, and were important to the formation of national identity. Amorsolo use of chiaroscuro, an Italian term for a backlighting technique meaning light and dark, that involves the interplay of light and dark, became his artistic trademark as well as his greatest contribution to Philippine painting. So he painted more than 10,000 of artwork. Example of his famous artwork are the Palay Maiden, Planting Rice, Dalagang Bukid, El Ciego or The Blind Man, and Fruit Gatherer.
So Amorsolo use of chiaroscuro, an Italian term for a backlighting technique meaning light and dark, that involves the interplay of light and dark, because his artistic trademark as well as his greatest contribution to Philippine painting. He painted more than 10,000 of artwork. Example of his famous artwork are the Palay Maiden, which means celebrated the Filipina in her own likeness during New Harvest to symbolize the hope for a rising nation. The next is the Dalagang Bukid. Dalagang Bukid is a story about a young flower vendor named Angelita who is forced by her parents to marry a wealthy old man. fruit gatherer. Fruit gatherer, ideal Filipino beauty means that to be sure you recognize and appreciate the small things. It represents a hard worker who is often not appreciated. The next is the planting rice. It relates the arrival of the American in the Philippines and the idealism of the artist to the Philippine society. The painting reflected the people desire the escape from a complicated